Hello, I'm Jeff Crawford for Journo.com, and today we're going to be discussing the art of the interview, both preparing for interviews and conducting them. When you prepare for interviews, you want to know the person you'll be interviewing, and you want to know what you'll be interviewing them about. Furthermore, you're going to want to know what they want to say about it and what you want them to say about it. And you're going to want to figure out where those two things overlap. Um, for instance, preparing for an interview with a local high school principal. All right, you're going to want to at least take a look through the school's calendar, find out what's going on. You want to be able to know if their football team is going to the playoffs, if there's a local theater troupe, whatever is going on with that school. Um, and you're going to go down there and you're going to talk to them. If you're doing a sports article, you're going to talk to them about the football game. If something terrible happened with a teacher and a student, you're going to want to talk to that. But you're going to want to set them at ease first. So they'll answer honestly when you're asking about the background of the teacher and if they suspected anything. When you conduct the interview, the first thing is don't be hostile. You don't necessarily have to be their best buddy, but you have to be willing to understand their point of view. If you go in there hostile, and a lot of people interviewing want to do that because they want to go in there and grill them because they watched too many police procedurals or they've seen Frost versus Nixon. So they go in there hostile and tell us what you know. And the person they're interviewing just clams up. And, and after they get done with the interview, they fire their publicist for sicking this person on them. When you get in there, you're going to want to be sympathetic, like I just said. And you're going to want to start off easy. You're going to want to ask them to introduce themselves. How long have you been doing this? How long have you been doing that? What made you come here? Have you lived here all your life? And then you're going to segue into the topic that you want to talk about. Put them at ease first with answers they know about. Because you don't want them to be nervous on camera. You want them to be steady and concise and coherent. Third, you don't want to get up too soon. You don't want to go in there and just go after the questions you want answered. You want to let them wander a little bit. They'll give you plenty of material to pick from. You can look, and a lot of times if you keep going, they'll say things they weren't necessarily planning to. Not necessarily sinister, they'll just be a little more honest. A lot of times people will rehearse things before they come and talk to the press or journalists. And you just want them to get past the pre-programmed bits and say something that's very real. So pee beforehand. You want to have a bigger bladder. And now some of the interviews I've done, probably the biggest one I did was I interviewed the mayor, city manager, and city council of Sanford, Florida about the Trayvon Martin shooting for my final class in college. And I had no time to prepare. I just walked in there and was like, introduce yourself. How long have you been the mayor? How long have you lived there all your life? Started out with that, got them to talking, and then I just, let them talk, and just interject. Don't really try to steer it, just interject. Oh, could you explain that a little bit more? And they'd go on and on and on. And, it went very well. We got plenty of material. The mayor actually yelled at me about it, because I just kept him there talking, and he got really impatient, like I have something else to do. Probably didn't help that I was dressed like this. Because, he's in a nice suit and I'm sitting there in a t-shirt. Because I didn't know I would be doing the interviews. I just kind of showed up and, no one else wanted to do it. And I was just like, well, I guess I do it because I want to go somewhere else. Get done with this and go home. But, so it worked out pretty well. It got like 4 or 5 hours of footage from like 5 people. So I just literally just sat there and talked to them and let them go on and on. You can't always do that, but most of the time, if you just put them at their ease and let them go, they'll tell you everything you wanted and more.